Alright guys, welcome to the Comic Hero Talk, Geo's Rant. We're trying to figure out a name for this, but this is where I talk about
The state of
the state of Marvel and Sony relations. You guys probably have heard, but recently Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal, there's been some confusion about whether Venom is going to be in the MCU, whether or not the black and white,
black
right?
or silver and black.
Silver and black.
Black Cat and Silver Sable.
If that movie's also going to be in the MCU, we've heard conflicting reports. Initially, Amy Pascal, right in front of Kevin Feige, just said, oh, this is all taking place in the MCU, and Kevin Feige's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then Kevin Feige came out later on and clarified that there is a possibility that it will happen. He didn't confirm what Amy Pascal seemed to have, been so confident about. And then Amy Pascal comes out recently and says, to clarify, Venom and all these other characters, they're in the Marvel Comics universe. Amy Pascal is also the same person in 2014 when Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just about to come out. She said, Spider-Man will never be a part of the Marvel universe. That is our bread and butter. It's not going to happen. It's our crown jewel. We have a Spidey Summit coming up, and we're going to discuss everything Spider-Man. Yeah, how did that work out? I'm looking at that camera right there. Okay, so, anyways, look, Amy, Sony, you guys need to understand that Marvel is doing you guys a favor, okay? They had plans with Civil War to focus on Black Panther just in case Spider-Man wasn't going to be, a part of the landmark deal that happened a few years back. But Marvel was playing nice, and they obviously want the Spider-Man character in the MCU. We have Spider-Man Homecoming 2, we'll call it that for now, and confirmed appearances in the upcoming, at least the next two Avengers movies, for sure Infinity War. But if you guys keep doing it looks like you guys are doing, which is kind of, putting other plans in motion and not following through with what Marvel and you guys have talked about, be careful, because Marvel, in my opinion, they can easily find a way. They always have a plan B, a contingency plan. They always think ahead, 2 steps ahead.
Well, and just, I don't want to interrupt,
go ahead, keep going.
What has been going on over the past 2 weeks, like you're saying, that Marvel always thinks ahead, they always have a plan.
Yeah.
If in fact it is true, Peter Parker's been in this universe for years.
Yes.
Because apparently he has been confirmed in Iron Man 2, the little kid with the helmet that Tony saved. And if that's true, it's a perfect example of saying, hey, Marvel knows what they're doing. They have plans years in and ahead. There could be Fantastic Four teases all over the place that we don't even know about, and then eventually they get Fantastic Four back from Fox. So that's just an example of what the kind of planning that Marvel does. Like, Iron Man 2 is 2010. They got Spider-Man back in 2015? Yeah. 2014, 2015. So they already did that 4 years ahead before they even realized that they were going to get Spider-Man back. Fast forward to 7 years later, now he's going to be a leading Avenger, 2 or 3 years down the road. So
where am I going at with this? I'm basically saying, Sony, continue to work with Marvel here. Don't start, making your own plans and everything and confirming things before, there's even a deal in place. I'm talking about Venom. I'm talking about Silver and Black, and any other spin-offs you guys.
Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio.
Because what Marvel cares about their universe right now, okay? They care about the future. They're already thinking about Phase 4. And if you start coming in there and start, making these films and then telling the fans and everyone that, oh, these films are connected when they're not, you're just going to ruin everything between your deal with Marvel. So just stay on course, continue to work with Marvel, and don't get too ahead of yourselves, okay? You guys have a good thing going with Spider-Man Homecoming. That movie's going to crush. It's going to make a lot of money. But don't just think, okay, you have that, you can start, steering Marvel's universe in whichever way that benefits you. I mean, obviously Marvel's going to look out for you as well. But, guys, just relax, okay? I don't know, maybe you feel differently, but I can imagine a scenario where Marvel, all of a sudden isn't comfortable with this deal with Sony. And it's not Tom Holland's fault. It's not John Watts' fault. It's Sony and their whole how they manage everything. I can imagine a scenario where Marvel goes, you know what, we're not interested in this deal anymore. You guys are all of a sudden throwing more things in there, trying to adjust this contract that we already have, and they part ways with Spider-Man. They'll find a way to do it. Like, can you see? Obviously, it may not happen, but can you see a scenario where Marvel kind of does that, where they?
Yeah, it's highly possible because we've seen it in the past with Spider-Man 3 and they made Spider-Man 2. Sony likes to jumpstart their universe within one movie.
Absolutely, before the movie even comes out.
And they actually already jumpstarted their universe without even releasing a movie.
Right.
Venom, Silver and Black, Mysterio, Kraven the Hunter, saying that all these movies are going to take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and then backtracking on it.
Yeah.
They're already getting it too ahead of themselves. But to backtrack a little bit,
yeah.
And I've said this for a while now, and it's just kind of all the Spider-Man news has been coming out like Spider-Man the sequel, which will probably end up being called Spider-Man Junior Prom. Spider-Man Homecoming 2 will feature another MCU character.
Yes.
Spider-Man 2 will pick up minutes, and this came out either this morning or last night, minutes after Avengers 4.
Okay.
Which is like almost a direct, continuation of that.
Yes.
Like an episode 8 situation.
Right.
To me, it sounds like, and I hope this happens, that Sony is playing two sides. And that's not a bad thing. They have two things going on. One, they have the Spider-Man character, the Spider-Man property of Peter Parker, which is going to take place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to be partnering with Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, all those characters that Marvel has going on right now. And it's going to continue for years down the road in the future Avengers movie, Secret Wars, Dark Avengers, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then Sony on the flip side has their own universe, Venom, Black Cat, Silver Sable, Mysterio, Kraven the Hunter, all these characters, which I would love to see those villains in a Spider-Man movie, which that doesn't mean that can't happen, but as far as universe goes, I think it would be extremely smart of Sony to put the focus either on one of two characters. One, have Venom be the Spider-Man of this universe.
Absolutely.
Which would be awesome because you have Tom Hardy in that role. Or the one that I'm voting for, Spider-Woman.
Okay.
She takes the place of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And she becomes that arch nemesis to Green Goblin and to Kraven and Mysterio and all these villains that have to go up against this kind of web slinger, and then that helps out with Venom because Venom in the comics and everything that we know can't go he goes hand in hand with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist without Spider-Man.
Yes.
That's where the symbiote comes from. Mm-hmm. So if Spidey is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, why not give Venom someone else like Spider-Woman who has the same exact powers? It can happen, twist the origin just a little bit.
Yeah.
And Venom comes from that, and it fits. And now you have two Spider-Man things going on.
Yes.
People get to know, it's Jessica Drew, who is the Spider-Man character or Spider-Woman character. You get to see Peter Parker. Then you throw in Miles Morales either in the Spider-Man universe, so you have a guy Spider-Man.
Yes.
Or you could throw him in what Tom Holland's been saying, where he wants to mentor Miles Morales at some point. I don't know. It's iffy. We're going to see where it goes, but I think it'd be very smart of Sony to kind of lend Spidey to Marvel.
Yes.
And the news recently has been saying that Sony's keeping all the profits from Spider-Man Homecoming.
That was initially a part of
their
deal.
And so Marvel's only in it to get him in the universe.
Exactly.
Because it brings more profit to their other movies. And Avengers and all that kind of stuff. So they're just like, okay, you keep the profits of the solo movies. Guess what? We have larger plans for them. So they don't care what happens. And Sony's like, well, what do we do with their universe? They have Spider-Woman. They have Spider-Gwen. They have Carnage, Venom, all these other Spider-Man type characters they can use. Miles Morales is one they can use if they want to guide Spider-Man. So I think it'd be very smart of Sony to kind of play both sides, get their own universe going slowly but surely, not jump-starting everything before a movie's even released, and then let Spider-Man do his own thing with the characters he was made to be with. He wasn't created to be a solo character. He was created in the early 60s to interact with these characters.
Yes.
To be a teenage superhero who learned from Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, all these characters. Let him do that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe rather than just battling all these villains like every other superhero.
Yeah.
He's not every other superhero. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
Who's still learning.
He's a kid.
Exactly. So I think Sony, hopefully they learn their lesson, but from everything that's kind of been going on, it looks like they just kind of want to get their own universe started because They see what DC's doing. Obviously, Marvel, Fox with X-Men for for 2 decades. So, I don't know. It's going to be an iffy question. Hopefully, Spider-Man, and from what we've heard, Spider-Man Homecoming is kind of the movie that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully, they're like, oh, wow, Marvel knows what they're doing. Let's keep doing that because it brings in money for us. It makes good Spider-Man movies. And so, yeah, it's all up in the air. We'll see in the coming months, like, what's going to be announced after Homecoming. Because that's usually what happens. Everything kind of drops once the movie is released and becomes official. And hopefully it's on the good side. And hopefully we're not cringing and shaking our heads at what's going on. But as of right now, I think Sony is kind of playing the cards and seeing what's going to happen. And I hope that they kind of consider having Venom or Spider-Woman be the focus of the universe. Because I think it'd just be so new and fresh and different. Especially with the whole women in movie thing going on right now and women heroes kind of being the focus lately. I think it'd be a very cool move for them.
Yeah, so look, bottom line, Sony, not to quote LeVar Ball, but stay in your lane, okay? Stay in your lane.
And you're a Celtics fan.
And don't ruin this. But I'm just as big as a Celtics fan as I am of this Marvel and Sony and studios working together. I think it's great for the genre, and I think it can lead to better things.
Well, and Homecoming, if it is what everyone's saying, Homecoming shows that, you know, 2 studios can work together.
Yeah.
Now, we'll never know how much percentage Marvel has, you know, worked or how much percentage Sony has. The thought is the Marvel's creatively Sony's profit value, and so we'll never know exactly. But it shows that 2 studios who were bickering for years over a character can come and work together. So.
Yeah. And if anybody's going to screw this up, it's you, Sony. So hopefully not. That's it for the Comic Hero Talk rant, state of Marvel-Sony relation.